Thank you. Senator Grassley.
Yeah. First of all, Mr. Kay, I thank you for coming for this conversation, and the reason for that is the theft of personal private tax information of over 100,000 taxpayers are deeply concerning because our whole tax system is based on the proposition of voluntary compliance and privacy and all that. So I'm asking about a letter I sent to you asking a number of questions related to data breach, and I don't expect those answers now, but I want to find out when I'm going to get answers to my letters. This would include requests for documents that should shed light on whether the IRS carefully considered security risks prior to instituting the Get Transcript online service. My letter asks that you provide a response by June the 4th, and it was sent last week. Some examples of what we're concerned about is whether or not you had a risk assessment plan, an implementation plan, and mitigation plans. Those are some of the documents I'm asking for. So do you have any idea where my request stands in the process? And do you expect to be able to fully respond to my letter by June the 4th? And if not, when do you expect that I'd be able to get a response?
It's a good question, as you know, and I've committed to the chairman at my confirmation hearing. We treat letters from the Hill very seriously. They are a high priority. Sometimes we get a request to give a response within a week to a lot of data that's difficult for us, but our goal is to, in fact, not make this delayed any longer than we can. The amount of information you want probably makes it unlikely we'll get it by the end of this week, but certainly by next week we expect to be able to provide you that data. The chairman has a pending request to us, a very thoughtful request about our entire IT program, which is in the process of coming back to him. It's taken longer than we'd like, but is going to be 40 or 50 pages long with very, I think, instructive detail. I've found it interesting to read about the priorities we have, the challenges that we've faced over time, and how we've responded to those. But we will point out to you, we take risk seriously. When this Get Transcript was put up, when any new application is put up, we look at the security risks. Whenever we have a new program, we work with the Inspector General to see is it being set up appropriately? Are there appropriate protections? And so it's an important question, one that as we move along, not only do we have risk mitigation plans when we start, we monitor as we go forward. Each year, what are the schemes? What's going on with identity theft? Where are the attacks coming from? Okay. We are pinged, as it were, not necessarily attacked, but just people checking to see where we are and what they might be able to find over 1 billion times a year. So we have security going on every day.
If I can interrupt, we have a vote on Senator Grassley. Will finish his questions, and then next is Senator Carper. And I'll try and get back by then. If not, after Senator Carper is Senator Enzi.
Okay.
So in that order.
Yeah. Well, I think I heard you say that you'll fully respond. It may not be by June the 4th, but next week. Thank you. Mr. George, IGs are very important offices as far as I'm concerned. Did your office evaluate the security measures put in place by the Get Transcript service either before or after it went online? And if so, what were your office's findings? Did the IRS fully comply with any recommendations you may have made?
Mr. Grassley, we did take a look at an earlier iteration of the Get Transcript program, and at that time made some recommendations that we believe were implemented, and a subsequent version of it we have not taken a look at it until now, but obviously we will be looking at that.
Okay. Mr. Kay, reportedly the attacks began in mid-February, but the IRS failed to notify suspicious activity until mid-May. Why wasn't the IRS able to detect the malicious activity when it initially began?
Last filing season, there were 23 million successful downloads on the Get Transcript application, so it's a huge volume. When we now know when it started by going back through our logs. We log every transaction. They were shrouded under the huge volume of requests going out legitimately. When the filing season ended, I think what happened was that the volume dropped. Not I think, I know it dropped, and then it suddenly started up again. But by that time, the volume of legitimate requests had dropped. and the activity became visible to us. I'm not sure that people expected it to be visible, but anyway, that was when we found it. It was in mid-May when we noticed, as I say, first we thought it was a denial of service attack because things were backing up in a way that was unexpected. Within a couple days, our security people went through and figured out it was not that. It was, in fact, unauthorized attempts to access the data. And as soon as they found that out, within a day or two, they sat down with us, we advised the Hill. And as I say, I'm delighted that we've been able to notify the 104,000 taxpayers already.
My time's up, so what I'll do is submit 2 questions, one to Mr. Kaye and one to the IG for answer in writing, please. Thank you.